inside the show with Justin Allegri.
Great Sunday action lies ahead, but first, here's what happened in the major leagues on Saturday. Starting out west in the American League, the Texas Rangers combined to give up just 5 hits as they defeated the A's in Oakland 4-2. As of right now, the A's are in 4th place in the AL West. They're over 20 games out of first. And the Rangers are at the bottom of the division. They're over 20 games out of first. Michael Brantley plated 3 runs on the day, leading the Astros to victory against the Angels 3-2. At the start of the day, the Astros sit in 2nd place in the American League West, 5.5 games back. And the Angels are atop the division. They are enjoying a 5.5 game advantage. The Mariners totaled 11 hits as they were winners in extras against the Diamondbacks 4-3. As of today, the Mariners sit in 3rd place in the American League West Division. They're over 20 games out of first. While the Diamondbacks sit in 3rd place in the National League West Division. They're 18.5 games out of first. The Orioles knocked out 12 hits as a team as they took down the visiting Blue Jays 10-5. In the standings, the Orioles sit in last place in the American League East Division. They're over 20 games out of first. And the Blue Jays are 4th in the division. They're over 20 games out of first. Nick Pivetta collected his 8th win overall as the Bo Sox took down the White Sox 6-0. As of right now, the White Sox are leading the Central Division. They hold a comfortable 5-game advantage. And the Red Sox are in 2nd place in the AL East, but they currently lead the AL wildcard race. The Milwaukee Brewers held their opponent to just 2 hits as they beat the Tribe in Cleveland 1-0. At the start of the day, the Indians sit in 2nd place in the AL Central Division, 5 games back, while the Brewers are in 2nd place in the NL Central, 5 games back. Trevor Richards earned win number 7 this season as the Rays defeated the Tigers 2-1. Entering the day's action, the Tigers are in 4th place in the AL Central. They're 15 games back, while the Rays are in 3rd place in the AL East. They're over 20 games out of first. Matt Shoemaker got the W, his 11th this season, leading Minnesota past the Royals 4-3. Heading into the day, the Twins sit in 3rd place in the American League Central, 6.5 games back. And the Royals are at the bottom of the division, 20 games out of first. The Braves had 12 hits as a team as they manhandled the Marlins 10-2. As of right now, the Braves sit in 1st place in the National League East Division, 2 games up on 2nd place. And the Marlins are at the bottom of the division. They're 18.5 games out of first. The Mets totaled 13 hits as a team as they defeated the visiting Yankees 7-4. As of today, the Mets are atop the National League East Division, yet they currently hold a spot in the race for the National League wild card. And the Yankees are atop the American League East Division. They are more than 10 games ahead of 2nd place. The Philadelphia Phillies grabbed 13 hits in the game as they bested the visiting Rockies 8-4. At the start of the day, the Phillies are in 4th place in the NL East, 6 games out of first, while the Rockies sit in last place in the National League West Division. They're over 20 games out of first. The Giants got 12 hits in this one as they bested the Cubbies at Wrigley Field 9-4. Entering the day's action, the Cubs are in 4th place in the NL Central, 11.5 games out of first, while the Giants are in 4th place in the NL West. They're over 20 games out of first. The Washington Nationals allowed only 5 hits as a staff as they defeated the Pirates at PNC Park 2-0. As of right now, the Pirates are in last place in the NL Central. They're over 20 games out of first. And the Nationals sit in 3rd place in the National League East Division. They're 2 games back. The Cincinnati Reds got 18 hits as they beat the Cardinals on the road 9-6. As of today, the Cardinals are in 3rd place in the NL Central, 6.5 games back. And the Reds are atop the division. They hold a comfortable 5-game advantage. The Los Angeles Dodgers racked up 11 hits as a team as they bested the visiting Padres 6-3. In the standings, the Dodgers are atop the NL West. They have a small half-game advantage. And the Padres are 2nd in the division, yet they currently lead the race for the National League wildcard. Thanks for joining me. That's all for today. Same place, same time tomorrow. Enjoy the games.
Yeah. Try me where the drums at.
It's real. Don't you see them?
chucks, got my feet in it. Whole pound, no 6 in it. Bring the Khalifa clone, I put the fees in it. KK got the whole place lit up. Hit the switch, make my 6'2" sit up. I know you sick, don't spit up. Tell homegirl if I can't, she gotta get up. Bang. Don't you see them? Bang. Say she wanna ride with us, then ride with us. Say she wanna roll with us, then roll with us. Say she wanna ride with us, then ride with us. Seat in the back, supposed to be the front. Say it's too loud.
Now on a Sunday afternoon in Northern California, MLB Network has baseball from the Oakland Coliseum. Today, the finale of this 3-game weekend series between the Texas Rangers and the Oakland A's. Alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, and guys, the Rangers played well in the series so far, winning the first 2 in this 3-game set.
Yeah, and to sweep this team right here would be a huge momentum boost. It is not easy to sweep a series. I don't care if it's 3 games or 4 games. I think back to Bobby Cox. His big thing was you just want to win series. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. But when you have a chance to sweep a team, you have to take advantage of it.
Chris Bassett will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, man, we're getting a look at a guy that's really dependable. Last 3 starts, ERA just under 3.00, and that's some pretty good pitching. Minimizes the amount of walks, keeps his hits down, and if he can do more of the same of that, he should have some pretty good fortune in this one here today.
Here's the first pitch to him. Nick Solak is in to start things off as he looks at a ball to start the inning, 1-0. And Dan Dero, these A's, as they begin play here this afternoon, they come in not exactly setting the world on fire as they've dropped 5 of their last 8 ball games.
Yeah, Matty B, hey, Dero, this has not been the kind of homestand that they would like to have so far. Through the first 5 games, they're 2-3. Dero, getting to 500 on this homestand is certainly one thing they'd like to do here today.
Yeah, they can salvage a little bit right now. They can walk out of here today with a smile on their face if they can get this back to 500 in these first 6 games.
Now the 2-0. 3-0 now. Our temperature at first pitch and even 70 degrees here this afternoon. Here it comes, the 3-0.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
Set to deal. Here's the 3-1. And that misses, ball 4. So a good battle to begin the ball game today, but the leadoff man will reach first anyway.
Batting second, the shortstop, Charlie.
Next to dig in, Charlie Culberson. He had a couple of hits in yesterday's contest. First delivery to him. Solak gets his lead at first, nobody out. Now a throw over. Here comes the 0-1. And that misses, 1-1.
I wonder if that call not going his way right there has anything to do with walking the last guy. We all know umpires don't give you much on the corners if you're not throwing strikes consistently.
One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. Nobody out, runner on first. And another foul ball. Here he comes again, 1-2. Pops this one up. And that's going to land foul. Here's another 1-2. Pitch taken several inches below the zone, in fact.
One thing to take note of is how these last two batters have really driven up his pitch count. He's had to use 14 pitches already on them, and he's not even through this guy yet. 14 is near the top end of what you want to throw in a complete inning.
He finally wears him down here as he strikes him out after a 9-pitch at-bat.
One thing to know is not all strikeouts are created equal. Right there, he goes down on strikes, but he really made that guy on the mound work for it. And when you're doing that in the first inning, it can have an effect on how deep he's going to be able to go into this start. There's a big difference between that and going down on 3 or 4 pitches.
David Dahl to the plate now. As the first pitch here's have been high, it's ball 1. He comes in with that average down in the 240s with 19 homers and 47 RBIs. Well thrown sinker that time, down but in the strike zone. Time for a look at our umpires in this one. Working the plate is Carl Dixon.
Hey, D-Row, one of the things you have to be aware of as a hitter from Carl Dixon, he'll call that high strike.
Yeah, he will. So you better be on top of your game with 2 strikes, because if they elevate, good chance Carl Dixon's punching your ticket.
Here's a fly ball, well hit. Looking up is the right fielder. At the track, the wall. And this one is gone. A home run. It's a 2-run homer for David Dahl, and even 20 home runs for him now thus far, as that'll give the Rangers a 2-0 lead.
What a way to get things started while playing on the road. Top of the first and a big fly, just like that, and they take the lead.
So that brings up the big bat of Joey Gallo. As he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. 0-1 count. Here it comes. Looks like he swung it underwater that time for strike 2.
He's going to have to figure out a way to get out of the middle of the plate. Just gave up a big bomb right there, and now he's missing right down the heart of the plate again. Could spell trouble for him.
So he got him swinging. Joey Gallo goes down for out number 2 in the top half. First offering on its way. The windup and the 0-1. Lays off the sinker here, a ball and a strike. 23 pitches already here in the first inning. And here's a pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 now.
Put that in a memory bank. First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Chris Davis. Frozen on strike 3 for the final out of the inning. But 2 here in the Rangers half of the inning, and they come on this 2-run home run. On to the bottom of the first at the Coliseum. 2-0 Texas. Kyle Gibson gets the ball in Game 3 of the series. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, man, we're getting a look at a guy that's really been struggling lately. In his last 3 starts, he has a whip of over 1.50. Lots of base runners, lots of hits, and lots of walks, and that doesn't add up to very good performances. So he's going to look to turn things around in this one here today.
Now to the plate,
That's
Elvis
shortstop.
Andrews.
Elvis.
He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. Here it comes. Fellas, this Rangers ball club, as they begin play, they've been hot of late, winners in 4 straight.
Hey, thanks, Matt. You know what, D-Roy, you got to give this team a lot of credit. They're on the outside looking in on the postseason picture, but boy, they're playing out the string and they're playing out well. They're going to play this thing all the way to the end of the season.
You know, Dan, I can't speak for the pitcher side of it, but I have never been on a team, win, lose, or draw, whether I was going to the postseason or not, that had players that gave away at bats. You just will not see it at this level.
Lifted down the line in left. Coming in is Dahl, but he won't get there. It falls in.
Yeah, he's going to have to work that sinker down in the zone. That's his bread and butter pitch, and if he's going to leave that belt high, that's going to spell disaster.
Yeah.
At the plate, Tony Kemp, as he'll take a look at a sinker here, too low for ball 1. Kemp, playing here in his age 29 season. He was a 5th-round pick back in the draft of 2013.
Hey, nothing has been handed to this guy, drafted in the middle rounds, and he has found his way in the big leagues. This has turned out to be a really nice pick.
There to make the play is Calhoun, 1 away.
Batting third.
Time now for a glance at Bob Melvin's A's starting lineup. Dan, who do we keep an eye on?
You know, this lineup is really needing a lot more out of Elvis Andrus these days. 0 for 5 in his last game, and I know a lot of people don't panic about a game like that, but he just hasn't looked very good. Not a lot of confidence coming out of this guy right now. Maybe this is the game that can get that confidence turned back around and get him turned back around.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. As he'll swing and miss at a first pitch slider at strike 1. Career against Kyle Gibson. He's got 3 base hits in 20 at-bats. He's taken him deep once. A ball and a strike to count to Matt Chapman. Now the 1-1 pitch. Andrus leads off first with 1 away. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. Lifted in the air to straightaway center. Calhoun is there, 2 gone.
Batting fourth. The first baseman, Matt.
So it's a runner at first with 2 gone. And that brings in the big power hitting first baseman, Matt Olson. He's set. Here it comes. And here's a slider that's nowhere close, and it's 1-0. Hit on the ground out to short. Scooped up. Little pitch and catch chance for Odor at second base, and that'll do it. 1 left for Oakland. They're down 2-0. Now into the box, Willie Calhoun. He'll start things out in the top half of the second.
For me, this is an important add-on inning here. Their little lead is cute. I like it, but keeping the pressure on, building that lead, that's how you bury someone.
And that one's in on the hands to start the inning. It's ball 1. Well, today's game provides the visiting squad with a chance to complete the series sweep, guys.
Sure does, and it's always difficult to sweep and win a series on the road, especially when you're playing a division opponent.
From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. And it certainly helps when you're throwing your ace on the mound in the series finale. Can't ask for much more than that.
One of the keys when you show up to the ballpark and you're going for a sweep, you look at that lineup card, you see your ace pitcher is on the mound. You have to feel awfully good about your chances to complete the sweep.
Fouled away. A swing and a drive to center field. That one's got a chance. Center fielder looking up, still going back. A leap at the wall, but he can't bring this one back. It's a home run. So it's a solo shot to dead center. Number 18 for him on the campaign, as the Rangers have moved out to a 3-0 lead.
Well, he won his last start, but he didn't give up any long balls. He's already given up 2 here, so he's got his work cut out for him if he's going to get the W in this one. He's going to have to start keeping the ball in the yard for starters.
Batting 7.
Standing in now, Ronald Guzman. As he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. And they're off to a good start today, obviously, having already jumped out to the early lead.
This one isn't in the books yet, but when you're going for the sweep and you have a nice lead like they do early on here, things are looking awfully good for the sweep department.
Behind 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. Base is empty here with nobody out. Just a bit low. Tough call, but it's 2-2.
Regardless of the result right here, to be down 0-2 and work it back to an even count, gotta feel like it's a win for the offense.
So a full count now.
Boy, went from being in the driver's seat to now being in some trouble. Had the count 0-2, started nipping at the corners, and the next thing you know, this count stands at 3-2.
Now the payoff pitch home. A little bouncer. Now a swing and a miss as he picks up another one. Make it 4 strikeouts already, and there's your first out.
Well, I'm glad we get another look at that beauty of a pitch right there. You can't spot a sinker in a better location because even if you do get the bat on the ball, there's not a whole lot you could do with that. Textbook sinker.
Here's Rougned Odor now. A bouncer to the left side. Chapman brings it in. Throw on to first will get him. Score at 5-3 on the putout, though it looked more like a 6-3 ground ball. Nevertheless, there are 2 away now. Now to the plate, here is Jose Trevino. 2 hits and 8 tries for the series. First pitch on its way. As he'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike 1. Two out, nobody on. And he watches a called strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, I got to commend him a little bit. Leadoff homer, and now he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning without any further damage.
And they'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue. Another 1-2 delivery. High and deep down the left field line. But this is going to wind up a foul ball. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Laureano is in his tracks now. As he puts this one away, the side is retired. But the Rangers add on thanks to this solo home run. On to the bottom of inning number 2. It's now 3-0 Texas.
Ride with us, then ride with us. Say she wanna roll with us, then roll with us. Say she wanna ride with us, then ride with us.
And that'll bring in Ramon Laureano. Career against Kyle Gibson, batting at an even 400. 2 of those hits were for home runs. And now the first pitch. A shot to second base and handled for the first out.
Batting 6.
So here's how the Rangers are positioned defensively. And let's take a look at second baseman Rougned Odor. Pound for pound, one of the strongest guys in the game. 30 home run potential, but a premium defender at second base. And if you don't slide properly into second base, he is going to let you know about it.
So now it's Mark Canha, as the sinker to him finds the zone for strike 1. Gibson has become known as a guy that's tough to take deep. So many starting pitchers find themselves snake bitten by the gopher ball, but he really limits that. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Oh, got him to swing out of his shoes on that one. 0-2.
Hey, I love the aggressive nature this guy's pitching with. He's got focus. He's commanding the fastball, really being aggressive right now. A lot different than his last start where he took a loss and seemed timid and scared to attack the zone.
And he struck him out.
This has not been a weekend to remember for him. He's just been completely lost at the plate, flailing all over the place. Now that's his 6th strikeout of the series. They've really got him figured out.
At the plate now, Seth Brown. Back up the middle, fielded cleanly. Throw on to Guzman at first, and the inning is over. So they go down without a whimper here. We played 2 full. It's the Rangers 3 and the A's 0. Welcome back. Here's Heidi Watney with a report as we get set for the top of the 3rd. Heidi?
Matt, I talked with the Rangers manager during the inning break about the team's offensive production to this point. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. They've been able to push across 3 runs to this point, but they've also made the opposition work extremely hard. He's thrown a lot of pitches, and they think they're going to have a good opportunity to push across a lot more runs as he tires or as they get into that bullpen.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
Leading off for the Rangers.
That'll bring in Nick Solak. He's hitless in the first 2 games of the series, 0 for 8. As he'll take a look at ball 1. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball. The 1-1.
2 balls, 1 strike. Count.
That's popped up. Olsen is over to take a look, and this is going to be a foul ball. The 2-2. Again, he sends it out of play. A little late with the swing, but he stays alive. Still 2-2. Sinker, 3-2 now.
These are the kind of ABs, regardless of the outcome, you go back to the dugout as an offensive player, and your teammates are loving on you for making that pitcher work and battling it out.
Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first. Another full count pitch home. And it's fouled away. Payoff pitch one more time. And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin inning number 3.
And that at bat will put a smile on any manager's face. The pitch total of the opposing pitcher just keeps going higher and higher, and he still couldn't put him away. So this inning is off to a good start for the guys carrying the sticks.
And now in the box, Charlie Culberson. First time up, he went down looking.
You know, Matty, tough to go down looking right there, especially in a long at bat. I kind of tip my hat to the fact that he didn't go into uber swing mode. He battled. He just got locked up. Look for him to have another quality AB. I think he's seeing the ball pretty darn big right now. Hey, the way this guy on the mound's been struggling to find the zone, I'm not mad at the guy taking a pitch.
Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone.
Well, that sinker is normally a really important pitch for him, but it really hasn't been effective so far. It just looks kind of flat.
The 1-1 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 2. Tough pitch to lay off there, but he did, and it's even up at 2-2. From the belt, the pitch, and this is swung on and missed. 5 quick strikeouts now, and that's your first out of the inning.
That was some nice execution on that pitch. Spotted it nicely down around the bottom of the zone. And when you do that, especially with 2 strikes, not a lot of guys are going to hurt you. You're going to get a lot of ground balls and swings and misses down there.
And that'll bring up the speedy outfielder David Dahl. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. He launched one over the wall back in the opening frame. And he takes a cold strike 1.
Hey, I don't mind that batter taking that strike right there. He's walked a couple people early in this game. Got to find out if he can find the zone. If he wants to walk them all in, we'll take it.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Offered at and missed. Here's the throw. Offline throw, but they still got him. Good job of getting the tag down there.
That very well could have been a hit run play, but that pitch was so far out of the zone, it really made it hard for the hitter to make any contact. Kind of left his teammate hung out to dry.
Two out, nobody on. Got him looking, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing for the Rangers, but they lead it 3-0.
The Athletics due to hit here in the third. They're looking to get some momentum going with the bats. This is a group that has had trouble doing so all season long. Case in point, they currently rank last in the league in team batting average and on-base percentage. On that note, one of the hitters told me, "I'd be lying if I told you it isn't frustrating for everyone. We're all really competitive guys in that clubhouse, so to be where we are is probably keeping some guys up at night." Sounds like a group looking for answers, Matt.
Thank you, Heidi.
The Athletics.
Bottom of the inning now, and that'll bring up Austin Allen. First offering on its way.
1-0.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
1-0 pitch on the way. Back up the middle, and that finds its way through for a base hit. So a good start to the inning for the A's as their leadoff hitter reaches base safely.
There's a hard-hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dad. Send it back right where it came from.
And that brings up Chad Pinder as he swings and hits a laser to right. And that'll get down for a base hit. He'll hold at second, and there are two aboard now.
Nice line drive to right field right there. Dan, does it concern you when you're missing middle hard of the plate early in the game?
It does, D-Roll. This is the kind of guy that he can't get away with those kind of mistakes. He needs to work the corners up, down, in and out. And like that one right there, he has to stay out of the middle of the zone.
1-0 the count. Here it comes now to Andrus. Too much bite on the sinker, and he's behind 2-0 now.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With two guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Allen over at second. Pinder at first with no outs. Grounded down the third baseline. Reined in to second for one. To first, and Guzman to complete the double play.
Well, there's the pitcher's best friend right there. The inning was off to a rough start, right? But nothing changes that like a good old two-ball. We'll see if they can strand the runner at third now.
Into the box now, Tony Kemp, as he'll take a look at his strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. Comes Set with the 0-1. In the dirt and blocked behind the plate, but it won't skip away far enough for the runner to advance. The 1-1 home.
Hey, what a job right here to put yourself in position to get out of this one after giving up back-to-back singles to the first two batters.
Now a curveball knocked down at home plate. He's set. Here's the 2-2. Grounded to short. He's got it. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as the side is retired. The A's strand one. They trail in this one 3-0. All set for the start of the fourth, and that'll bring up Joey Gallo.
The right fielder, number 13. Joey Gallo.
Here's the first pitch. As he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. Fouled off. Struck him out, so he's set down on strikes for the second time today.
This pitching staff has done a really good job against this guy in this series. This is a really good hitter, and it's not easy to make a guy strike out 5 times in a series up to this point, but that's what they've done to this guy so far.
Chris Davis next to bat, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball one. Davis, 33 years old. He was selected in the 7th round back in the 2009 MLB draft.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him. Hey, I understand it's a tough play, but he had a little trouble getting the exchange right, had to take that extra step. I think if he didn't have to do that, was a little quicker, he might have had the out.
And here's the former prize Dodger prospect Willie Calhoun. Ball 1 to start the at-bat.
Ball.
2-0 now.
I wonder if that homer rattled him a little bit. He's certainly a little bit more cautious against him this time around.
Ready with the 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0 now.
I got 3-0.
Has a look, now the pitch. And he lays off here. A nice job. It's ball 4. First and second now with 1 away.
When a guy homers off you early in the game, the last thing you want to do is challenge him and maybe have him do it again. He was a lot more careful with him there.
And now here is Ronald Guzman. He's 0 for 1 thus far. From the stretch, here's the pitch. And that's a fair ball, line to the right side. Davis rounds the corner and is headed home. The relay not in time, and he's in there with a double.
Just a great at-bat there. That one-out double gets a run across, and now they've got runners at second and third and are one solid swing away from making this a real big inning.
Here comes Bob Melvin now out of the Oakland dugout. And a change is in the offing, as that'll be all for his starter this afternoon. So he'll exit here this afternoon to a smattering of boos after what can be described as really a subpar performance. Mike Fiers answers the call from the pen here in the 4th, as they didn't get the outing they were hoping for from the starter.
Fire.
So here's the left-handed bat of Rougned Odor, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. And he fouls this one off. Now the 1-1 pitch. Second and third here, 1 man out. And you can tell he wanted to hold off, but he swings through the inside pitch anyway, and he becomes out number 2.
That has to make you feel really good as a pitcher, right? You're making pitches all around the zone, and then you bring that one inside. You can't do anything with it. What does it do? It just locks you up inside. You have no chance to put the ball in play.
Stepping in now, Jose Trevino. And a swing from him yields a foul pop out of play to the right. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. From the stretch. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Calhoun, the runner at third. Guzman on at second with 2 down. fastball, but he's able to hold off on it, and it's 2-1 now.
Hey, lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job of gaining some count leverage. Look for him to put the ball and play hard.
Now the 2-1 is taken, ball 3.
Well, he really needs to make this guy swing the bat right here. He's not the type of hitter you want to dance around with.
And the good fastball there finds the zone as the count goes full now, 3-2.
Yeah, this is one of my biggest pet peeves in the game, when guys get count leverage and take fastballs. It's a game of fastballs. You calibrate everything off the heater. Surprising take right there.
And he takes ball 4, so a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
Man, that's just painful for a pitcher right there. A 3-2 offering that was right on the corner, but he couldn't get him to chase, and he doesn't get the call. Can't beat yourself up about that one too much.
Into the box, Nick Solak, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1.
Even though we're still in the early going, I think this game's at a tipping point right now. They've got a chance to put this game out of reach, but if they can't score anymore here, the other guys feel like the door's still open.
And he checks his swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the first base umpire. Strike 2. On its way, the 0-2 pitch. Waved at and missed for the 3rd out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. It's a run on 2 hits here for Texas. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. It's the Rangers 4 and the A's nothing. Ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. And stepping in, the long ball threat, Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman.
First pitch on its way. High and deep to right. Right fielder looking up to the track, to the wall. Gone! A solo shot here to straightaway right field. 29 home runs for him on the year. As they get on the board, it's 4-1 now.
Well, if you're going to give up a towering blast to one of the best players in their lineup, it's better to do it with no one on base. It stings, sure, but a solo shot isn't going to be the deciding factor in a game.
That'll bring up the power hitter, Matt Olson. He'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. The 1-0. There to make the play is Calhoun. 1 away.
The bat, number 22.
So bases are empty with 1 out now. And up next will be Ramon Laureano. Now here's the first offering. As he'll look at a fastball too high for ball 1. Back up the middle. And that's through for a hit.
That's got to be frustrating for the pitcher right there. He's well aware of who's having great seasons and who's having the tough seasons at the plate for the opposition. This guy put him in the tough season bucket, and he just gave up a knock to him.
In now, Mark Canha, as it's grounded sharply to first. Culberson on to Guzman. They get them both, and that retires the side. The A's strike for 1 on the solo homer. We played 4. It's the Rangers 4 and the A's 1. New inning set to get underway, and stepping up as the
Leading off for the
shortstop,
Rangers,
Charlie Culberson.
The shortstop, Charlie Culberson.
First offering on its way. A swing and a ground ball to third. And an off-balance throw is in time as he takes one away. Wow. So one out and nobody aboard. And into bat next will be the outfielder David Dahl. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Four runs, 4 hits, and no errors in the contest for the Rangers so far. Breaking ball below the zone. That's ball 1. Looks like a right-hander's gotten up to throw now in the Oakland pen. Ready with the 1-1 pitch. And great extension as he drives this one high in the air and deep the other way. And it's gone as they add still another. A solo home run there for David Dahl. His second of the game as they stretch the lead to 5-1.
Second home run of the game right there. He is locked in at the plate. You hear so many of today's players talk about rhythm and timing. Well, he is perfectly on time in the heart of the zone.
Here's Joey Gallo now. And a check swing here. Quick appeal, but Joe McDonald says he held off. It's ball 1. The 1-0. Is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Hit the target, but this is low. 2-1. Hits are even right now at 5 aside. Off-speed pitch misses here, and he runs it to 3-1.
They know the threat this guy poses at the plate. I know it's a 3-1 in this situation right here, but I cannot believe for the life of me this pitcher is going to come anywhere near the middle of the zone.
Hit down the third baseline. And this will stay inside the third base bag. A fair ball. Not in time, and he's in there with a double.
Man, that swing looked like self-defense than a real quality swing. But, hey, he muscled it out there, and it was enough to get him safely to second. Those are the kind of hits that will drive you nuts as a pitcher.
Here's Chris Davis now, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Oh, and 1 count, and the pitch. Slider laid off for a ball.
You got to love that as a hitter right there. It doesn't happen much, but when it does, you have to find a way to take advantage of the count.
Davis waits on the 1-1.
Hey, the bullpen needs to step up in this situation. I got to believe the manager was hoping for way more than this.
Gallo, the runner at second with 1 away. Changeup gets him out in front for strike 2.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt. But he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
The 2-2. hard hit ball to short. Andrus has it. And there's out number 2.
The center fielder, number 5, Willie Calhoun.
So now here is Willie Calhoun, runner in scoring position with 2 gone. He's set and the pitch. Oh, and 1 count and the pitch. Now, oh my, this ball is crushed. Look at it go. Gone. So a 2-run shot to left center, his 2nd home run of the game, as it's now a 6-run ball game. The long ball is playing in this one. That was the 4th blast of the game so far for this lineup. Dan, D-Row, what are your thoughts on what they're doing as a team so far?
Matty V, D-Row, I don't know what you think, but this is like crazy. 4th round tripper of the game so far.
They're missing over the heart of the plate, not using the quadrants. In the hitters meeting, they focused on this stuff. They thought these guys could miss middle, and that's exactly what's happening.
Birch Smith gets the call to pitch here, and he'll try to sort this mess out. He's going to try to at least eat a couple of innings for his guys.
Now batting, the first baseman.
At the plate, Ronald Guzman. As he'll watch one miss down and in for a ball, 1-0. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. A 1-0 pitch on the way. And this is just off the outside corner, ball 2.
When you're down 6 on the mound, you got to at least throw strikes here.
Now another one hit deep to left. Looking up is the left fielder at the track, the wall, and it's out of here. Back-to-back 2-out home runs. A solo shot here to left. 4th home run for him on the season, as this is now a 7-run ball game. Fans are getting plenty of souvenirs today. That's the 5th ball we've seen clear the fence by just this one lineup alone.
Dan, they're absolutely not going to cover off the ball. I'm curious to get your take on this. I didn't find it to be the truth. I didn't mind hitting at night, but a lot of guys say they see the ball better during the day.
You know what's funny, D-Row, is I prefer to pitch in night games as opposed to day games. I always thought it was advantage to the hitter, and so far that looks like it's the case in this one right here. They must be seeing the ball really well because they're just absolutely smoking the baseball right now.
The windup and the 0-1. Popped him up. Chapman trying to get there. And this is going to wind up a foul ball. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And he strikes him out here, so he's able to stop the bleeding a bit as this side is retired. So 4 runs in the inning, but of note there was that they came on the strength of 3 home runs. Home half of the 5th coming up. The Rangers lead it 8-1. Back at the Oakland Coliseum, and before we go much further, let's check in with Heidi Watney.
Well, Matt, I talked to manager Bob Melvin during the break about his thoughts on the A's hitters to this point. And he told me the quality of their swings needs to improve as the game moves forward. They're struggling to drive the baseball into the gaps right now, as only 1 of their hits has been for extra bases. That makes it pretty tough to generate runs, but he said it's up to everyone in the lineup to make the necessary adjustments. It hasn't gone their way to this point, but that shouldn't mean they can't put together some great swings the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, Heidi.
Set.
First offering. Seth Brown is in to start things off here as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2. And they really bunch him up on that one as he swings and misses for the first out.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. The best ones have that late action that just starts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
The batter will be Austin Allen. And that's into the corner, a foul ball and right. He singled in his first AB. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1.
Nope, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Line drive, base hit to right.
Now batting, the left fielder, Chad.
So next to hit is Chad Pinder, a base hit in his first trip.
Yeah, guys, everyone knows he's been slumping. Dan, you can certainly attest to this, only amassing a solid 1 hit in your entire career. The pressure's off now. Maybe he gets hot.
First pitch coming, here it is. He'll hold off on the slider to start the at-bat. It's ball 1. Here's one fouled off to the right as the count evens at 1-1. Allen stands at first with 1 out. Oh, they have him looking awfully confused up there right now. It's 1-2.
Yeah, guys, he's got so much respect for this guy's fastball. You could tell he was out in front on that slider. I think he goes to the well one more time with that pitch.
Line, but speared on a hop. There's one on to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. Nothing doing there for the A's. It's still an 8-1 ball game. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and next to hit is the catcher, Jose Trevino.
Jose Trevino.
First delivery to him. And he throws the fastball by him here. 0-1. Smith, a 6'4" right-hander. He was selected in the first round back in 2017.
Yeah, he has turned himself into a really nice ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't miss with this pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has, nice pick.
And he comes back with one that misses here, and it's 1-1 to the Ranger backstop. And now a pitch on the way. And they'll go off speed here as this pitch misses. It's 2-1. Swing, and there it goes. He got all of that ball. Gone to lead off the inning. So a solo shot here to left center field. 12 home runs for him now thus far, as they've widened this lead to 8 now. Guys, you believe what we're seeing here today? With 6 home runs so far, this lineup is turning in a performance for the ages at the plate.
Matty, this is crazy. Dan, what does the pitching coach say at this point?
Right now, D-Roll, the only thing he can't say is pick up that bullpen phone and look for reinforcements, because this has gotten really ugly, and this is a nightmare for a pitching coach.
And the off-balance throw gets him. Nice play for the out.
And this is not an easy play when you have to range to your right.
He really didn't have a chance to get his feet set, so this is all arm. Nicely done.
So now to the plate, Charlie Culberson, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball one. Lifetime versus this pitcher. He's 2 for 3. He also has 1 home run. 1 out, nobody on. Ripped down the line, but a foul ball, 1-1. And the pitch. Good pitch there down below the zone. Got him to go after it. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. A knuckle curve there, and he thought he had him, but it's 2-2. Sent in the air out to straightaway center. Center fielder on the run. He gets there, and that's the 2nd out.
Now batting, left fielder, David Dahl.
David Dahl stands in looking for home run number 3 right here, as you see what he's done so far in this one. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch.
Inside, ball 1. Ball 2.
That's lifted the other way out to left. Left fielder giving chase. He tracks it down, and that will end the inning. 1 in the inning, and it comes from a rather unlikely power source. Bottom of the 6th is straight ahead. It's the Rangers 9 and the A's 1. So Elvis Andrus the next to bat. A hit in 2 tries so far.
The shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Here it comes now to Andrus. Ball 1 as he lays off below the zone. Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball. A bouncer to the left side. And that's out number 1. And with 1 away, we show you a look at where these guys sit in the current division race. And basically, they're left with no hope. So 1 gone for the A's in their half of the 6th. And striding toward the plate to hit next, Tony Kemp. First pitch of the AB on its way. Fly ball right down the line in left. And that is off the wall, but in foul territory. Foul ball. The 0-1 on its way. Started the breaking ball far too inside that time. Laid off for ball 1. Right side. Adore is there. In time to first, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, the third baseman, Matt Chapman.
Next to hit is Matt Chapman. He went deep last time up. First pitch on its way. Good fastball down around the knees there, taken for a strike.
You know, over the course of a full season, you're going to have some clunkers, and this certainly looks like one. By the look on the manager's face, he's going to probably call a meeting after this.
Off the plate and in. It's a ball and a strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Fouled away. Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. Again, a 1-2.
2-2 now.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Lifted in the air to shallow center field. Culberson trying to get there. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the A's. They trail big. It's 9-1. Lou Trevino comes on to pitch now, hoping for better results than the other arms that they've run out there in this one. Seventh inning ready to roll, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Joey Gallo.
The right fielder, Joey Gallo.
First pitch coming, here it is. Cut fastball in there for a called strike. Action in the bullpen now as a right-hander begins to throw out there. And it's fouled away.
You're lucky if you get one pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
Looking to put him away. Here's the 0-2. Got him! And he goes down on strikes for the third time.
That's the third time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
Standing in now, Chris Davis. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. Trevino playing here in his age 29 season. He's in his 4th season as a major league player. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Popped up. Olsen is right there. 2 gone.
Now batting, the center fielder, Willie Calhoun.
Next to stand in is Willie Calhoun. 2 home runs in 2 at-bats so far, and looking to add to that here.
Man, he's making a lot of noise in this one. He's feeling really locked in at the plate right now. We used to have a saying in the dugout, anybody could get 2. There ain't too many guys hitting north of 2 bombs in the game in the big leagues.
Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. 2 out, nobody on. And the cutter got him swinging. Strike 3, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Rangers, but they still hold a commanding 9-1 lead. And that'll bring up Matt Olson. He's batting cleanup in this one, but will get us started here in the inning as they look to wake up the bats.
Yeah, not much to get excited about with just a single notch on the scoreboard, but you have to give credit to where it's deserved. The pitching on the other side has been really impressive.
And now a pitch on the way.
Probably a design take right there. They need base runners, so they're going to make them try to bring the ball in the strike zone.
The windup and the 0-1. Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2.
Man, this guy's really pitched well so far, attacking the strike zone, and he's really kept these hitters off balance.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
Love the high heater right there to raise the hitter's sights. Let's see if he buries something in the dirt right here.
Tapped out in front of home. And the throw to first is in time, 1 gone.
The batter, number 22.
Next to hit, Ramon Laureano singled in his last at-bat. Now the first pitch. They'll try and entice him with a high fastball, but he wouldn't commit. It's ball 1. One run, 6 hits, and no errors in the ballgame for the A's so far. A ball and a strike.
Great job of doubling up with a fastball inside. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher go in there, but they won't go back in there a second time. This guy's not afraid to pitch inside.
Ready on 1 and 2. And that one misses badly. It's ball 2. He stays alive, still 2 and 2. Three and 2 to the A's center fielder.
And it's late to his afternoon of work, and the longer this at bat goes, the better chance of him making a mistake. But as a guy starts to tire, they're more likely to leave the ball up. But man, he's been good so far.
Fly ball out to straightaway left. Dahl will range to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the second out of the inning.
The right fielder, Mark.
Up next, Mark Hanna. He was a double play victim last time around.
He doesn't have to worry about that in this situation, Matty. No one on base right now. Try and get something up so you can drive the baseball.
The 0-1 on its way. Popped up. Guzman has room in foul territory, and he's got it for the final out of the frame. This one pretty well in the bag. We'll look ahead to inning number 8 now. The Rangers on top here, 9-1. Stepping up is Ronald Guzman. He'll start us off in the 8th.
That last at-bat, Matty B, a changeup right down the middle of the plate. Listen, this guy's got a great changeup, but he can't afford to keep throwing it middle like he did that last at-bat. If he does, this guy might be hitting back-to-back jacks.
And it looked like the fastball got away from him there. Now some action in that Oakland bullpen as it looks like a lefty started to get it going down there. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Fouled off. Now a fastball awfully close, but he doesn't get the call. It's 2-2 now.
I know he missed with a fastball right there, but this guy's arsenal, you can't figure out what he's trying to do. He's got a lot of different directions he could go in right here.
Curveball got him swinging for the first out.
That was aggressive pitching in that at-bat, and I like seeing that. He showed all hard stuff until the fifth and final pitch for the strikeout. When you work off your hard stuff, it really opens up your secondary pitches to be more deceptive.
To the plate now, Rougned Odor, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball one. His prior history versus this arm, a number of meetings, he's 1 for 7. Now the 1-0 is looked at for ball number 2. 1 out, nobody on. And he fouls this one off. The 2-1 takes a pass and misses. That's strike 2.
2 strikes.
And this will be fouled away. The 2-2 one more time. Full count, 3-2. Making him sweat out there. The 7th pitch coming up. And he grooves the fastball there. This is hit high and deep out to straightaway center field. He settles under it and makes the catch in the deepest confine of the ballpark.
Up next for the Rangers, the catcher, Jose Trevino.
Next up, Jose Trevino. He comes in 1 for 2 with that home run he hit earlier. And now the first pitch.
After watching that one go by and a ball being called, you could rest assured he knows he's not getting away with another one of those. I guarantee you he's going to be aggressive on this next pitch.
The 1-0 finds the zone, strike 1. One and 2 to the Rangers catcher. The 1-2. And this runs inside, and that looked like it got him pretty good.
You know, with 2 outs and nobody on, that's the last thing you want to do on the mound. That really gives the opposition some hope that they can do something with this inning.
So the Rangers batting order turns over and set to go. Nick Solak. He bounced out last time up. first pitch of the AB now.
Hey.
Trevino leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. Now a curveball, but he might have flown open a bit. It's 1-1. Swinging a soft liner. Throw on to Olsen will take care of him at first, and that ends the inning. One left for Texas, but they still hold a commanding 9-1 lead.
Leading off for the A's, the designated hitter, Sept.
First pitch on its way. And right into the shift. Fielded cleanly, and he'll step on first himself for the out.
Now batting, catcher, Austin Allen.
Next up is Austin Allen. He's got hits in both of his at-bats so far in this one. First delivery to him. Bottom part of the zone, a good changeup gets the call. As mentioned early in the broadcast, this series finale had the potential to result in a series sweep, and at this point in the game, it's looking rather promising.
Hey, Matty V, Yogi Berra had a great saying, it ain't over till it's over. Well, this one's just about over with the team playing as well as they are and leading by as much as they are. This one is pretty much in the books.
One ball and two strikes to the A's catcher. And it certainly would be a big morale boost to a team if they're able to complete a sweep like this one on the road in hostile territory.
They might even change their nickname for this team to the Road Warriors. A sweep is looking pretty good as they're leading this one again late in the ballgame.
On to first, and there were two down.
The left fielder, number 4, Chad Pinder.
Digging in next, Chad Pinder. They're quickly down to their final 4 outs here tonight. Now the first pitch.
Nope.
Well, too much bite on the breaking ball that time as it's well off the outside.
2 outs here, and the focus needs to stay sharp. You don't want that lineup turning over in an inning if you can help it.
Called strike on the change, 2-1.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
Into the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tough to do much with that one. A swing and a miss.
Hey, I know he's aware he can't tie the game with one swing of the bat, but maybe he's just trying to excite the boys and get one on the board.
3-2 now.
This is a big bat right here. No doubt you'd rather go after the 9-hole hitter with a runner on third instead of giving the top of the order a chance to cash in.
And he takes ball 4, so a good job out of the 9-hole and getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
Now batting, shortstop, Elvis.
So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Elvis Andrus. He grounded out last time up. First pitch on its way.
Nope,
lays off 1-0. A runner on first with 2 away. Drives it out to deep right center field. Chasing after it is Calhoun. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Oakland. They trail big. It's 9-1. all set for the start of the inning, and that'll bring in the Georgia native, Charlie Culberson.
Charlie Culberson.
Now here's the first offering.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
Down the first baseline. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
I got to count 1 and 2.
Pretty standard fastball right there, 0-2. Now he's changed the eye level of the batter so he can start working something in like an off-speed curveball down in the zone.
I got to count
Hard
2 and 2.
sinker misses, 2-2. Popped up. Allen is calling for it. 1 away.
Now batting, the left fielder, David Dahl.
Into the box, David Dahl has got 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Pitch on the way.
Ball inside.
High in the air out to center field. Center fielder giving chase. He makes the running play. 2 down. So a nice running catch on display that time as we get a look at it again with Show Track. He took a nice route, covered a good amount of ground, 100 feet to be exact, to bring that one in. Well done. Into the box, Joey Gallo. He swings and hits it foul off to the right and out of play. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day. A 1 pitch on its way.
Down 0-2, maybe simplify the game plan right here. Get on the heater, even though he has 5 weapons to go to.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And on 0-2, he misses with a fastball.
Hey, that 0-2 fastball wasn't even close, but I'm hit right now. I'm still sitting on that heater.
Just staying alive, putting together a really good at-bat here. Here he comes again, 1-2. Just a bit low. Tough call, but it's 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. Fouled away. Here's another 2-2.
He's definitely going to want to get greedy in his zone, and he's obviously seeing the ball well, or he would have swung at that pitch. Sometimes in these long, epic at-bats, you start to get into swing mode.
And there's strike 3, so we'll see now if they can manage to hold on to this huge lead as the side is retired. Rangers set down in order, but they still hold a commanding 9-1 lead. Taylor Hearn, a lefty standing 6'6", takes over the pitching duties here.
Taylor Hearn.
Striding in for Oakland, Tony Kemp starting things for his side in the ninth as they face the improbable odds of trying to come back in this one.
Yeah, not a lot of hope for them at this point. These guys know these bats still count, at least for their own stats. You can't mill in your chances as a professional.
Here's the first pitch to him, as he'll take a changeup here for strike one. Hearn, a native Texan. He was a 5th-round pick back in the 2015 MLB draft.
Hey, this middle round selection is still developing, but he's doing it at the big league level, and he has a lot of time to get his tool set ironed out.
It's 1-1 to Tony Kemp. Some movement now in that Texas bullpen as a left-hander starts to get cranking down there. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Hit back toward the mound. And a base hit, so early trouble to lead off the inning.
Dan, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter what it looks like right there. That lawn dart felt so good.
Oh, Dero, this guy's been due. He really needed that one.
So that brings up the always intense Matt Chapman. And on the first pitch, he grounds foul. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
0-2 count. You could do just about anything you want right now. Up, down, in, out, hard, soft. Good time to be a pitcher.
And there's a fastball well off the plate inside. They really bunch him up on that one as he swings and misses for the first out.
Well, his struggles continue. It's been a rough go of it at the plate with him. And watching this at bat, it's clear to me that his rhythm and timing, they're just all off. Even as a pitcher like I was, you can tell these things and exploit them.
Stepping in now, Matt Olson, as he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. He's set. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a ball yanked down the right field line. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit. And they'll have runners at the corners following the 1-out single.
Boy, there's a long drive bullet off the wall right there. But the outfielder does a really good job, D-Roll, of getting that one quickly and getting it back in to keep him at first for a long single.
Yeah, and also nice job by the base runner not there. Not putting his head down, being over-aggressive and getting thrown out at second base. He saw the play happening in front of him and put the brakes on and got back for a base hit.
Yeah, D-Roll, I think he would have been toast if he tried to stretch that one into a double.
He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. And a good heater as he just watches this baby, a ball and a strike. Runners are at the corners with 1 man out. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Right fielder is on the run, makes the catch, but the runner from third breaks for home. And he will get in to score, and it's a run batted in on the sacrifice fly.
The right fielder,
A's down to their final out now. And striding into bat next, it will be Mark Canha. And now the first pitch. In the dirt here, and no advance. It's ball one. Now the 1-0. And oh, look out! Up and in and nearly took his head off.
Well, that'll wake everyone up. Anytime you buzz the tower like that, there's reason for people to start getting a little bit edgy.
Pops this one up. Last strike now for Oakland. Struck him out. The Rangers go on the road and sweep their division rivals in this 3-game series.
Well, these guys feel pretty good about themselves, and they should. Anytime you can come into somebody else's ballpark and sweep a 3-game tilt, you're doing something right. Great team effort.
A 9-2 finish at the end of this contest. Texas get their 30th win on the road so far this season. Kyle Gibson earns his 8th victory of the season as he turns in 8 strong innings of work. Chris Bassett couldn't escape the 4th inning as he slapped with the loss. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney down on the field, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for watching MLB Network.
The final line score for our ball game this afternoon. First for the victorious Rangers, 9 runs on 9 hits. No errors, they left 4 men on base. For the Athletics, 2 runs on 8 hits. No errors, they left 6 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 25 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.
guessing I'ma be okay. Saints gon' feel me now. I feel like I'ma live somehow.